look at lesson number 5. Lesson number 4 is out of syllabus. So, name of this lesson is the Ailing planet. The green movement's role. So I think you're crystal clear for the topic, the ailing planet, the green movement's role. So first of all, why the lesson is titled like this? Why the name of the lesson is the ailing planet, the green movement's role? Oh, but ailing, if we look at the meaning of ailing, it means sick. So planet, we're talking about our planet, that is the Earth. So I had already told you people, if THE will be there before the word which starts with vowel sound, then we will just look at the. Otherwise, is the century school. I think you should be crystal clear about this particular concept. So it is the Earth. So we are talking about planet Earth. So if we look at the meaning of this particular title, planet is sick. Earth is not feeling well due to nonsense activities of human beings. Now look at the next part of the title, the green movement's role. And you are going to study about the green movement. Then the role of green movement to stable this particular Earth, to stable this precious planet that is the Earth. I think meaning of title is crystal clear. There is no doubt in this. Oh, just look at the next. This chapter is written by Nani Palkiwala. Now let us look at the brief introduction of the author. So if we look at the brief introduction of the author, Nani Palkiwala, you should be able to look at that he was an Indian jurist. If we look at the meaning of jurist, it means the person who is expert in law. So now the next, so also Indian economist. Economist word, I think you are crystal clear, the person who looks at the financial matters. So I think you are crystal clear about the profession of this particular personality, that is Nani Palkiwala, who has written this particular chapter. Now just look at little bit more detail about the author. So if we look at little more detail, he was born on 16 Jan 1920. Died on 11 December. I think you are crystal clear about this particular fellow. If we look at the achievement of this particular fellow, he had achieved Padma Vibhushan Award. So he was able to look at very fine award, that is Padma Vibhushan Award. So dear student, I think you must have noted down the details of Nani Palkiwala, Indian jurist. He's born on 16 Jan 1920, died on 11 and 002. So I think crystal clear so far as author of this particular chapter is concerned. So brief intro still clear. Now let us look at the next part of the lesson. If we look at the I think it is transparent. It is crystal clear. That is, it is our serious moral responsibility. So what is our serious moral responsibility? To save our planet, the Earth. So if we look at brief details of this particular point, due to nonsense activities of human beings, our planet is deteriorating every day. So the Earth is irritated to look at the activities of human beings. So it is our serious moral responsibility to save this particular planet. I think theme of the chapter is crystal clear. Now, lesson 5, and the name of the book is Hornbill, and page number 43. So I'm sure that you must have opened your books, because without books you will never ever be able to get the things in a good way. Let's know that point. This point we must go for afforestation. We must say goodbye to deforestation. So it is a serious responsibility. November 1994. The issues that he raised regarding the declining health of the earth continue to have relevance. So if we look at this particular point, we should be very, very clear about the basic concept. Already I have told you people about the basic concept. So if we look at the things, so you have to look at this particular point, and the writer of this particular article was Nani Palki. So now just look at this particular article was publicized in the Indian Express. The day and date was 24 November 1994. So the issues that he raised regarding the declining health of the earth continue to have relevance, because is full of problems faced by our earth. So I think you are crystal clear so far as first paragraph of this particular chapter is concerned, that is intro of this particular chapter is concerned. So you should be able to understand this कि ये एक आर्टिकल तो लिखा गया था नानी पालकी वाला द्वारा, और 1994 में 24 नवंबर 1994 में, और ये पब्लिसाइज हुआ था न्यूज़पेपर में. द नेम ऑफ न्यूज़पेपर वाज द इंडियन एक्सप्रेस. आई थिंक क्रिस्टल क्लियर अबाउट दिस कि जो हम पढ़ने जा रहे हैं बेटे, ये एक आर्टिकल फॉर्म में पब्लिसाइज हुआ था. वन ऑफ द फेमस न्यूज़पेपर्स, that is the Indian Express. I think you are crystal clear. So first paragraph, that is brief intro about this particular lesson is concerned. Now just look at the next. That is second paragraph. So if we look at second paragraph, one cannot recall any movement in the world history which has gripped the imagination of the entire human race so completely and so rapidly as the green movement, which started nearly 25 years ago. In 1972, the world's first nationwide Green Party was founded in New Zealand. Since then, the movement has not looked back. So now just look at this particular point, that is second paragraph. So you will have to look at the things that green movement. We look at the, I think the explanation, green, you have to look at things just for the positivity of earth in order to develop the environment. Green movement होता है आंदोलन. So you will be able to look at this particular point in a very systematic way. One cannot recall any movement. Recall क्या होता है जिसको हम मेमोराइज करते हैं, जिसको हम याद करते हैं, जिसके सिग्निफिकेंस को हम रिकग्नाइज करने के बाद we just put it time and again. One cannot record history. It's human race. So completely and so rapidly as the green movement, which started nearly 25 years ago. You will be able to look at this particular point that no movement had fascinated the particular as green which 1911 had fascinated. यानी जितने भी आंदोलन हुए हैं इन्वायरमेंट को लेके, कोई किसी भी आंदोलन ने इतनी फैसिनेशन, इतनी अट्रैक्शन, यानी इतने लोगों को अट्रैक्ट नहीं किया. You have to apply. In 1972, the world's first nationwide Green Party was formed in New Zealand. Since then, the movement has not looked back. So, इसकी डेवलपमेंट के लिए 1972 में what had happened, you will have to look at this particular point. The world's first nationwide Green Party was founded in New Zealand. New Zealand में India nationwide Green Party was searched out. Since then, the movement has not looked back. और उस पार्टी के सर्च आउट करने के बाद, इनोवेशन के बाद, ये मूवमेंट जो था, ये आंदोलन जो था, ये आगे बढ़ता रहा. लुक्ड बैक का मतलब होता है कि उस पैसिमिज्म में नहीं आया. पीपल वर क्रेजी टू लुक एट दिस पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट इन अ वेरी सिंसियर वे. I think you are crystal clear up to this particular point. So I'm giving the pins of this again. So automatically you will have to look at the things, and I'm sure that you are noting down each and every point in a very systematic way. The name of the lesson is the Ailing planet. If we look at the thing, Ailing means sick, planet is the Earth. So you should be able to look at the basic fact why we are looking at this particular word as the THE. So I have already told you people the reason behind that. If this particular article is before the word which starts with vowel sound, we possess right to look at the. Otherwise, it is just spoken as the. The pronunciation of this particular word is the. If it is before any consonant word, any word which starts with consonant, and if any word starts with vowel sound, automatically the. I have already given you example. The Century School, the Earth, I think you are crystal clear up to this particular point. So next pin, Nani Palkiwala, author, automatically, I have already told you, jurist and economist. Automatically, he was very lucky to achieve Padam Vibhushan Award. So automatically, you are crystal clear. Now, if we look at the third particular, uh, this particular chapter is an article written in the Indian Express. Again, same concept. I is, if we look at this particular I, it is vowels. So the Indian Express, not the Indian Express. So you would have to look at. So this particular chapter is an article which was published by the Indian Express on 24 November 1994. So automatically, this particular article was difficulties faced by our precious planet. Due to selfish nature of humanity. I think that is crystal clear so far as this particular pin is concerned. So I think fourth we have already done. So just look at the fourth pin so far as this particular chapter is concerned. You will have to look at the next pin in a very systematic way. If we look at the next pin, we have already done automatically cares about green movement. So you have to look at particular point was introduced in 1972. So you will have to look at the point. You have to look at the point in a very systematic way. In 1972, the world's first nationwide Green Party was founded. Green Party was founded. Since then, the movement has not looked back. Since then, this particular movement, that is Green Movement, just looking at its status in proper order, positive. So I think crystal clear so far as the introduction of the chapter is concerned, and a very few points of this particular chapter are concerned. Look at the next. Note down the meaning, note down the base. Otherwise, you will not particular chapter. Look at the paragraph on the same page, that is page number 43. We have shifted one hope irrevocably from the mechanics view to the holistic ecological view of word. Look at the meaning of this word. If we look at the meaning of this word, that is irrevocably. A way cannot a way that cannot be changed. You will have to look at this particular sentence. Shifted one hopes mechanism view to a holistic view. So you will have to understand this concept. What is concept? You have to look at the mechanism. These words are quite. So if we look at this particular word, mechanism, so means in a mechanism. And if we look at the next, Look at this. Holistic. Particular word also ecological. If we look at ecological word means ecosystem. इस वर्ड का मतलब ये है कि ग्रीन मूवमेंट के स्टार्ट होने के बाद उस आर्टिकल को पब्लिसाइज होने के बाद व्हाट हैड हैपेंड यू विल हैव टू लुक एट दैट पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट कि हमने क्या किया था हम पे बहुत ज्यादा मूवमेंट था तो क्या कैसे हमने हाईलाइट किया कि हम पे इम्पैक्ट किया पड़ा है ये वी हैव शिफ्टेड वन होप्स irrevocably from the mechanics view to holistic ecological view of the world. तो हमने अपनी जो व्यू पॉइंट था उसमें कन्वर्शन किया था क्योंकि ये जो मूवमेंट थे इसका इंप्रेशन जो था हम पे पड़ा वी हैड जस्ट कन्वर्टेड आवर व्यू पॉइंट टू I told you a way that cannot be changed and reviewed. So then you will have to look at this one irrevocably from the mechanist view. So we had converted our viewpoint. We had started thinking about the entire. We had started thinking about our planet, the Earth, after studying this particular article about studying after studying about the green movement our viewpoint was totally changed. So क्या conversion हुआ था already you will be able to understand this particular fact. We had changed our mechanical viewpoint to a holistic viewpoint. Holistic, I have already told you people that uh, uh, the entire world, about the entire world completely. तो जो हमने स्टडी करने के बाद ग्रीन मूवमेंट की people had just made conversions. Conversions क्या क्या था? Earlier they used to look at the mechanical viewpoint. And after that, they had started a holistic. Holistic में क्या? If we look at the just interpretation of this particular word, the people were able to recognize that if we want to save our Mother Earth, we should be very, very serious about all the living beings of this particular earth. Maybe plants, maybe animals, maybe birds. So you should be able to understand this particular fact in a very systematic way. This line is quite tough. यानी कि ग्रीन मूवमेंट की स्टडी के बाद जो लोग जो थे they were selfish by nature to look at their selfish motive only. They wanted to develop for the sake of looking at the development only without looking at holistic viewpoint. So automatically they were able to recognize the fact that development will be zero if they will not be able to save the earth. I think you are crystal clear so far as the meaning of this particular sentence, insan. It's very tough. Every terms here, mechanical viewpoint already clear, holistic viewpoint already clear, green movement already clear, and if we look at the fourth fact, that is ecological view. Already, I think I have explained each and every concept in a very systematic way, with the hope that you are noting down each and every point. Moreover, just you are looking at this particular point in a very sincere way. You are listening very, very carefully. Look at the next. It is a shift in human perception as revolutionary as that Next page 44, introduced by Copernicus, who taught mankind in the 16th century that the Earth and the other planets revolved around the sun. You have to look at this particular point कि ये जो व्यू पॉइंट चेंज हुआ था उसकी और इसकी elaboration दिया गया है. You should be able to look at it is a shift in human perceptions, and if we able to look at this particular point, human perceptions यानी कि जो human का व्यू पॉइंट था उसमें conversion आया था, उसमें change आया था. Revolutionary. If we look at this particular word revolutionary here means basically a complete change basically. So revolutionary as that introduced by Copernicus. Yeah, इतना बड़ा चेंज था. It was a very big change, very big conversion. तो इसको compare and contrast किया गया है किसके साथ? Introduction by Copernicus was able to just introduce and taught mankind the Earth and the other planets revolved around the sun. The sun is revolving around the Earth and the other planets. Copernicus had taught mankind that sun never roams here and there. So a very big lesson means he was able to look at the basic concept. What was the basic concept? It is the Earth and the other planet revolve around the sun. Sun never revolves around these particular planets. Meaning the Earth and the other planets. You are crystal clear up to this particular point. यानी कि if we are able to understand this particular point, ये जो point था, it had brought a big change in the mentality of people. Or with Copernicus, I have already told you people that it was the sun remained on पहले लोग जब तक कोपरनाइकस ने ये हाईलाइट नहीं किया था समझते थे कि sun just revolves around the Earth and the other planet, because they used to observe sun early in the morning and in the evening. They were able to look at the point that actually the position of the sun moves or the sun revolves. So only Copernicus was able to highlight that particular point. The green movement के बाद भी ऐसा ही लोगों की मेंटेलिटी में कन्वर्शन अनाउंस के बाद लोगों की मेंटेलिटी में कन्वर्शन आया था. I think you are crystal clear. Very tough point. You will have to look at the things in a very systematic way. So, green movement had played a vital role to just make the people there. That is very fine planet. Look at the next page. There is a growing word called that Earth is an enormous being of which parts. It has its own metabolic needs and the vital processes which need to be respected. Now, just understand the sentence in a very systematic way. We will look at this thing. So after green movement, people were able to recognize very important point. What was the important point? So they were able to recognize that there is a growing worldwide consciousness that the earth itself is a living organism. People were able to recognize that the earth itself is a living organism. They were able to recognize that particular fact. An enormous being of which we are parts. People were able to recognize the point that the earth is very vast. So automatically, being of which we are parts, and we all are part of this planet that is the earth, is actually a very big. They were able to recognize that particular fact. It has its own metabolic needs. They were able to recognize that fact that it has its own metabolic needs. And vital processes which need to be respected and preserved. So, like we are able to look at this particular point, metabolic. If we look at this particular word, we are able to recognize the fact that people were able to recognize that the earth, that is our planet, is a living organism. So it has its own necessities, it has its own requirements, it has its own needs. The first time they were able to recognize that particular fact, and it has its own very important processes. So the main point people were able to recognize that it is our serious responsibility to respect the metabolic needs of our planet, the earth, and we must be able to save it from the core of our heart. I think crystal clear up to this particular point कि जो ग्रीन मूवमेंट था उसका इम्पैक्ट लोगों के माइंड्स पे ऐसा पड़ा था जैसा कि जब कोपरनिकस ने डिक्लेरेशन किया था कि the earth and the other planets just roam around the sun. Before that, if we look at the basic fact, before the announcement or declaration of Copernicus, we used to recognize the fact that the sun roams round the earth and other planets. तो लोगों के मन में जो ये पॉइंट था कि हमारी धरती के बारे में people used to consider the earth as declaration of green movement, people were able to recognize the fact the earth, a very important planet. So why was it considered important? Were able to recognize the fact that it has its own metabolic needs and important processes, and it is our serious moral responsibility to respect. I think you are able to look at this particular point in metabolic. And if we want to save this particular earth, it is our serious moral responsibility to maintain balance. We must protect ecosystem. That we have to close this particular lecture. So it is our serious moral responsibility to study each and every concept in a detailed manner so far as this particular chapter is concerned. We will be in continuity in next lecture. तो दोबारा मैं एक बार अनाउंसमेंट कर रही हूँ जो मैंने बिगिनिंग में किया था, कल से आपका ये जो ऑनलाइन क्लासेस नहीं होगा, जिस बच्चे को स्कूल में आके स्टडी करना है ऑफलाइन क्लास के लिए, यू आर मोस्ट वेलकम। लेकिन एक कंडीशन है कि आपके पेरेंट्स ही आपको छोड़ के जाएंगे, पेरेंट्स ही लेके जाएंगे। स्कूल विल नॉट प्रोवाइड एनी ट्रांसपोर्टेशन। थैंक यू, थैंक्स अ लॉट। दिस वाज ऑल फॉर